Hey guys, it's Vicky, and today I'm here to share with you some new ebooks I have acquired on my Kindle. I did a video like this before about 2 years ago where I shared all of the unread books that I had on my Kindle. I will link it in the cards and down below if you want to check it out. And I mean, I've acquired some more, but honestly, it's only 8 more in the past 2 years, which is pretty good. Though, I've probably only read like 3 or 4 ebooks in the last 2 years. So I'm working on that though. That is a goal for this year, is to read more of my ebooks, but I thought I would go ahead and share with you guys what those books are that I have, in the hopes that you will help me to decide which one to prioritize and which ones I need to bump up on my TBR. So the first book that I have to share with you is We Sold Our Souls by Grady Hendrix. And this is one I'm actually like really excited about because it deals with I believe the main character is a female who's in a rock band or like a metal band. And for reasons we don't know, the band broke up, but the lead singer of the band went on to have a very successful career. And this character, our main character, finds out that it's because he sold the rest of the bandmates' souls to the devil so that he could be famous. So it feels like it's like a revenge kind of story centered around rock music, which sounds super fun. And I really enjoyed My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix, so I already know I like his writing style and I think it's going to be a good one. Next up is The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay, and I picked this one up because I loved A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay, so I decided I wanted to read his new book. This one deals with a young girl who is, I think she's like on vacation or like in a cabin camping or something with her 2 dads, and this weird guy shows up at the door and tells them that this little girl has to help save the world or something like that. I've heard it gets really intense, and it seems like I think it's a pretty short book. So yeah, it sounds like it's going to be like action-packed and super fun. Next I have Since We Fell by Dennis Lehane. So this is like a thriller of sorts, I believe. It deals with a woman who was a journalist but had some sort of breakdown and now is agoraphobic. And she's married, and then something happens. I'm not entirely sure what happens, but she gets pulled into this crazy story where there's like conspiracy and all this stuff, and it just gets crazy. And I remember somebody, I don't remember who it was, saying that it's almost like you're reading 2 different books. The first half is like all dealing with this journalist and her life and everything that happened to her, and then it goes into this crazy story. So I don't know. I read Shutter Island by Dennis Lehane. Really enjoyed it, so I think this one's going to be good too. Next up I have a YA novel, and that is Dredd Nation by Justina Ireland. This one sounds so fun. It's basically a Civil War era story with zombies. Like, sign me up. And it's about this, our main character is African American. I don't know if she was a slave or what, but she is basically fighting in the war, but she is fighting just to kill the zombies, I think it is. Yeah, it sounds really awesome. And from what I saw on Goodreads, this is now going to be a series because now it says Dredd Nation #1. So I feel like I should probably get on that soon if it's going to end up being a series. Next I have another sort of like thriller crime book, and that is Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. I have not read Karen Slaughter yet, you guys. What am I doing? Like, seriously, what am I doing? But this story deals with a girl who, 20 years in the past, her oldest sister was, they went missing, and they never figured out what happened to her. And now we're 20 years, we're in present day, 20 years later, and this other girl goes missing, and her disappearance is very similar to this girl's sister's disappearance. So our main character is convinced that the two are linked, and she dives in to try to figure out not only where this present girl is and what's happened to her, but what happened to her sister 20 years ago. So it sounds super intense. I've heard Karen Slaughter is intense, and things can get pretty graphic, pretty crazy in her books. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. Next I have one from one of my favorite authors, and I don't know why I haven't read this yet, but that is Strange Weather by Joe Hill. This is a collection of 4 novellas. I don't know anything else about it other than that, but I have read almost everything of Joe Hill's, so I know it's not going to be disappointing. I know I'm going to enjoy it. I just have to sit down and read the dang thing. Next up is The Light of the Fireflies by Paul Penn, and this one appealed to me because it kind of reminded me of Room by Emma Donoghue. It's about a little boy who lives underground. He lives in a basement with the rest of his family, so like his parents, his grandparents, he has some siblings, and they all have, and he's lived his whole life in this basement, and his family, they're all, in some way, they are disfigured because of a horrible fire that they survived. So yeah, he's just like living underground. But then, strangely, his sister has a baby. And things are tense ever since this event happened, and he doesn't quite understand why. We know why, right? We know why. And nobody's talking about who's the dad to this baby and where is he and what's going on here. And so he's starting to kind of see things sort of fall apart. Why are we hiding in this basement? Is there a world beyond this basement? And yeah, it just sounds so good. It's giving me Room vibes big time. And it sounds like just a very interesting but probably heartbreaking story. And then the last one that I have to talk about is a memoir, and it is called A River in Darkness by Masaji Ishikawa. It's translated by Martin Brown from Korean. And so this is a memoir about Ishikawa's escape from North Korea. So do I really need to say any more? I mean, that sounds like it's going to be heartbreaking, intense, whew, and yeah, I can't wait to read it. All right, guys, so those are all of the unread, well, not all of the unread books on my Kindle, but the ones that I have acquired since the last time I did this video. So, yes. Please let me know down below which one of these books sound the most interesting to you, which one should I prioritize and try to read as soon as possible, and let me know if there are any books on your Kindle or e-reader that you haven't read that you want to get to. Does anybody else do that where you see a great deal on an ebook and so you feel like you have to buy it? All of these books cost me either $3 or less, and I believe The Light of the Fireflies and I think A River in Darkness were both free. So I mean, how can you say no to free? You know what I mean? So let me know if you guys do that too, because I would love to know that I'm not alone in this getting cheap ebooks and then not reading them. All right, that's all I have for today, guys. I hope you're having a great week, and I will talk with you very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.